After a thrilling season debut at Daytona that saw truck specialist Jeff Martin win in a Gen 6 car, the Simulated Stock Car Association brings its AdPro 360 Cup Series to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Bramante Landscape and Design 200. And all the simulated NASCAR action from green flag to victory donuts can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. From the Peach State, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast and the Bramante Landscape and Design 200 Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Words Eye View is yours truly, Bill Soupson, joined by Tanner Sharp. In the director's chair is the hardest working man in sim race broadcasting, Joe Peak, armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over these 15 streamy award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the 200 miles of simulated NASCAR Cup racing that will immediately follow as we count down to green. Both the AdPro 360 campaigns, that being this Cup Series for the Gen 6 cars and the Companion Challenge Series for the B cars, opened at Daytona. With both races in the books, the SSCA heads north to Georgia. So let me reintroduce Tanner Sharp to tell us a little bit about Hotlanta.
Thank you, Soup, and hello, everybody. Before I talk about the track, let me remind our viewers that this race is sponsored by Bramante Landscape and Design, serving Long Island's most prestigious homes and estates for over 15 years. Call them at 516-671-4499 or visit www.bramante.com. Now on to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Located in Hampton, Georgia, 20 miles south of Atlanta, this D-shaped oval is a tick over a mile and a half with about 24 degrees of banking and has a reputation of being bad fast. Since opening in 1960, NASCAR has made at least one visit here each year. Visits from IndyCar has been sporadic. USCA came here twice in the mid-60s, then returned for seven races from 79 through 83, most under the CART banner, and then the IRL and a handful of races around the turn of the century. But honestly, when you think of Atlanta, you think NASCAR. To get an idea of what this place is really like, let's hop on board the GSRC Chevrolet SS and take a lap around Hotlanta.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around the Atlanta Motor Speedway today in the GSRC Chevrolet SS. Atlanta's a fast, worn out, as you see right there, worn out 1.5 mile oval, and it's very, very tricky to get around. So I'm going to kind of show you how to try to do it. Hot lap, going to aim for that white line, get right down in there, get in there a lot better than I did, because you really want to hug that white line all the way through corner exit and start drifting up right here on the exit of turn 2. Turn 3, kind of a weird entry. The track kind of falls away, and you really try to find the bottom. Probably half throttle all the way through here, 3/4, finally back full throttle. Watch the wheel spin just a little bit, and then that's going to complete your fast lap. Now, as the run progresses, you might see guys venture up here. Atlanta in turns 1 and 2 really, really makes it nice and easy to gun up there and run that top lane. So you're not running the bottom to try to cut it and try to burn off that right front. But 3 and 4, all night you're going to see guys coming right down here to that line, back into the gas, let it roll through the center, back out, watch the wheel spin, come through the first little quad oval there, across the line, and that's going to complete your track guide here around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
There you have it, a lap around Atlanta. You know, you take Catwoman out of the mix and it's hard to find anything that wears rubber more than Atlanta. Tires are going to be an issue here today. Let's go ahead, though, and look at some of the cars that are out there qualifying right now, and tires won't be an issue as they're just putting in 4 laps. This is lone qualifying, and it's different. This is lone qualifying the real way. They're actually doing them one at a time right now. They race them in an invert order. We're looking at Jeff Martin. He is the round 1 winner. Now, Jeff's points are not going to count. We have figured this out here on GSRC because he is dedicated to winning, I believe, the Truck Series. His points that he won in the first round are not going to count. That's good news for everybody else. Looking at Jeff right now. 21 drivers have already put in a qualifying time. Andrew Faranyars is the pole sitter, putting in a 30.361 right now.
Pretty close to the cup times that I've seen earlier. Actually, about a week ago, they were running about 30 flats. So we're about running 33, so pretty close to the actual cup times.
We were looking there at Alan Elwood a minute ago. He put in a time. He comes in 12th. Jeff Martin finishing up his lap. See where Jeff actually got a time. I'm not seeing it right now. I'm looking for it. 18th for Martin. Oh, well down the list. No wonder I didn't find him. They do these in sets of 4. They get them lined up in 4. They go out. They get 4 done. Then they'll line up the next one. We have 24 done. And looks like we have 32 drivers entry list here today. So about another 8 more to go before they'll be done. Pulling out right now, Chuck Idell. Looking at Chuck, he has one of those drivers who has also not dedicated himself to this series, so whatever points he earns will not count. Race control getting everybody organized right now. Kyle Barnes manning the race control. It's one of the reasons that our yellow flags are probably a lap longer than they would normally be in a normal iRacing controlled event, because there's a lot of bookkeeping that the race stewards have to do. A lot of PLO penalties sometimes. There are penalties. Tanner, we talked about it in the last race we covered here. There's a rule about getting into the pit box. You can only go in 3, only go out 3.
Yep, absolutely. You can only go in 3, out 3, and if you go over more than that, you got race officials really keeping an eye on that, and they will black flag you, and they will let you know whether you have to come down pit road and serve a penalty.
Chuck Idell on the qualifying lap right now. Why don't we take a look at the weather right now, give us an opportunity to see what we're dealing with. There you have it. How's it look, Tanner?
It's looking pretty nice outside, but you got partly cloudy. That's 87 degrees outside. But circle that number right there. That number is going to be is going to be important throughout the race, and that's going to be 95-degree track temperature. You know how tires really wear here at Atlanta. 95-degree track temperature will really give some tires a little bit of grip, but as a run goes off, those tires will start to lose grip, and that bottom line here at Atlanta, right down that white line, will give you the most extra sticky grip down there. That's the preferred line here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and the wind is coming from northwest about 5 miles an hour in a late afternoon setting.
And we have 2 ways to look at the temperature. We have the track temperature when the session opens, which is 95. It is a dynamic track temperature, though, as you can see on screen now, up to 111 degrees Fahrenheit. So, my gosh, if Tanner thought 95 was bad.
Yep, that just means it's going to be slick. Exactly. It's going to be, that means the cars will be slick out there, slipping and sliding. Got to have a lot of throttle control. I mean, there's a lot that goes on. It's not just about a bunch of left-hand turns here at Atlanta. There's a lot of control in these cars, especially in these high-powered Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series cars.
Looking at Eric Stanford right now, he sits second in the points behind Farinars, and he got his qualifying run in by, my goodness, is 25th in the grid. I almost wonder if the track temperature isn't going up, if it hasn't actually increased from the time just these qualifying started. Maybe the track's not as friendly.
Usually the more cars that turn laps around the racetrack, the hotter the track will get as the event goes on. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on, especially in an event of 200 miles, 132 laps.
What I think I heard from race control is anybody who's making a qualifying run has made their run, so we can announce that our pole sitter will be Dylan Jones. Congratulations to Dylan. Find out if we're going to go to the pole lap now or if we want to go to the points. Director, where are we going here? All right, we're going to take a look at Dylan Jones' qualifying lap. And what Dylan will get here as our director starts to pull up all the information is there's a special prize supplied by Sim Speed Shop Pole Award. Yes, indeed. And the round 2 winner of that Sim Speed Shop Pole Award is indeed Dylan Jones. So what does he get? Well, for every 2 poles, a driver earns $5. And the driver with the most poles at the end of the season earns $20. Again, that's courtesy of SimSpeedShop.com, a great place to order custom button boxes, as well as buy and sell used equipment. For more information, well, you know where to go, SimSpeedShop.com. Looking at that qualifying lap. While that's going on right now, while we show you that lap, the driver meeting is going on, and Kyle Barnes is telling all the drivers about all the rules. There's our Sim Speed Shop logo up there. And congratulations to Dylan Jones for putting in that qualifying time. That was 30 seconds, .332. What's the difference between him and Andrew Farinars? Well, Farinars put in a .361, so about 3/100ths of a second. Now, with qualifying done, why don't we take this opportunity to show you what the point standings look like. This is after one race. Now, keep in mind that we found out a few things. For drivers like Jeff Martin, who's in first, and Gabriel Wood in fourth, and William Davis in sixth, enjoy being on the overlay now, because next round you won't see them there, and that is because the SSCA forces drivers to pick their poison. In other words, drivers can compete in no more than one championship. Now, the bad news for those aforementioned drivers is good news for drivers like Andrew Farinars, who is the true point leader now. Good news also for Ellery Queen and Jesse Abraham, who are shown below the cut line there of the playoffs in 13 and 14th, but in all actuality, they are above that line. Also, with Martin and Wood not being eligible, their playoff points don't count. Martin had 5 thanks to his race win, and Wood had 1 thanks to his stage win, so they will not carry over. This makes David Washington the only driver with a playoff point that matters. The intricacies and the particularities of the SSCA GSRC is learning them right along with you, the viewers. Let's go ahead and talk about something a little more simple, and now I'm going to turn it over to Tanner. Talk about the event details.
Yes, sir. It is round 2 of 16 of the regular season races. There will be 7 playoff races after those 16 events. The setups tonight is fixed setups, so everybody is driving the same setup with an 80% fuel load. Tire alignment. Each team will have 4 sets of tires, 16 tires to use however they would like. If you cause 2 incidents, that driver gets disqualified. And yes, folks, for the first time ever that I've heard of, also was last week at Daytona, there is a green-white checkered system this series has. If the race finishes under yellow, the top 10 drivers will have 1 attempt at a green, white, checkered, going green after the pace car pulls from the victory lap. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we do see that here at Atlanta.
Uncharted territory for both this series and GSRC again. GSRC as well. One of the things we'll learn together. Tanner, before we talk about the race analysis, let's go ahead and talk about the max fuel stint, which is somewhere, I think they're saying, between 48 and 55 laps. But honestly, I don't think fuel's the issue here for how long you can go, right?
Yeah, it's not. It shouldn't. It's not going to be an issue with the first 2 stages, depending upon where the green flag runs. But how I would try to consider is the tires. How are the tires going to fall off? You know, you mentioned that track temperature, 111 degrees, and that's going to increase as the race goes on. If we have a long green flag run, that track is going to heat up in at some way, shape, or form. So it depends how the cautions fall, and if we can make it to 33 laps, expect everybody down pit road. Pit road will be a very busy place. So the fuel run tonight approximately is 48 to 51 laps. So after 66 laps in that final stage run, we'll see if we can go green to the end and see some green flag pit stops.
With qualifying done, I think right now we can take the opportunity to run through the field before the drivers start to grid up. And, of course, on the front row, it is no surprise, as we talked about him, it is our pole sitter, Dylan Jones. He is going to be inside of somebody who's really fast. Keep an eye on him, Andrew Farinars.
David Washington is going to start in third, and he'll be side-by-side with Jason Jacoby.
All right, here's a familiar name almost in the row 30. As Tanner fooled me, and it's not. I'm disappointed. Daniel Eberhard in the 5th position. I thought we had Earnhardt there for a minute, didn't we? And Mark Wisely in the Mark Wilsey in the 7th. Wilsey in the 6th spot.
Gabriel Wood will start in the 7th spot, and Ken Richardson will start in 8th.
Kyle Kammer in 9th, rounding out your top 10, William Locklear.
Josh Bonwell starts outside the top 10 in 11th tonight, side-by-side with Colton Selleck.
In the Baker's dozen spot, it's Alan Elwood, William Roberts Jr. in 14th.
Gary Sexton will start 15th tonight, side by side with Brett Ledenhoff.
Andrew Payne in the 17th position, inside of race 1 winner Jeff Martin.
Richard Reagan Jr. will start in 19th, and rounding out the top 20, Gerald Campbell.
Hidden Blackjack, it's Danny Rogers. In the double duck spot, Ellery Queen.
Stephen Llewellyn, 23rd, and Jeff Gordon spot, number 24, Ethan Moore.
Another driver who's much farther up the points than this qualifying would indicate. In 25th, it's Eric Stanford. Ian Hayes in the 26th spot.
Chuck Idle in the 27th spot, last driver to take a qualification time. He'll be side by side with Ryan Hill.
Along with Ryan Hill, who did not put in a qualifying time, Donald Stewart and Tyler Chalk. 30 entries on the entry list. See how many of them actually grid up. Right now I see the last car out there. Ryan Hill has made it. Still waiting for Donald Stewart. Tyler Chalk has made it though. Looks like 29, maybe 30 will be racing here today. 200 miles. Let's take this opportunity to bring up the little graphic and we can talk about the race analysis. There you see it, Tanner. How's this going to play out today?
Yeah, race analysis, 132 laps. Stage 1, there will be a caution after Stage 1 after 33 laps. Stage 2, another 33 laps. And the final stage will be at 66 laps. And the fuel run today, 48 to 55 laps. So keep an eye on those stages. And if we do get a caution before those stages end, I do expect drivers to come down pit road and pit for some kind of tires in some way, shape, or form.
And the pit road will be closed if we're racing under green. They'll close it at lap 31 and lap, what would be 66, 64, I guess. 2 laps before the stage ends. They don't want anybody pulling any fast ones. Drivers are out on the grid right now. With the exception of the temperature, should be ready for a good afternoon of racing here at Atlanta. It is round number 2 of the Simulated Stock Car Association AdPro 360. This is the Cup Series.
One of my favorite racetracks to go to as far as speed is concerned. This is considered one of the fastest mile-and-a-half racetracks on a NASCAR circuit alongside the Texas Motor Speedway. Kind of like a sister track to this. This is a little bit longer than Texas, however. But Atlanta has had so much history here. It used to be the final race of the NASCAR Cup Series season. Now today they only come to this track once a year. Very unfortunate in my opinion. But Atlanta has always served great to many drivers, and it's got a great prestige of history here at this racetrack.
They sing what the Lord needs now is love, sweet love. We don't need another mountain. We don't need another river. And in my opinion, we do not need another mile-and-a-half racetrack for NASCAR. Plenty of those to go around.
Absolutely. And maybe we need some more short tracks. Maybe we need another track that's like Bristol.
I'm still lobbying for the figure 8 super speedway, but that doesn't seem to be coming in. Talladega in a figure 8. That would be exciting. Right now, we're going to talk about the Bramante Landscape and Design 200, round 2. Pace car pulls in. Gather up the chicken stick, cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is indeed Dylan Jones leading the Stampede into the first corner. On the top side, that is Faragnes. Down below it, side by side in that second row, Jason Jacoby, Daniel Eberhard.
Good start by David Washington to get second spot on the start here. Dylan Jones down in turns 3 and 4 for the first time today of 24 degrees of banking here at Atlanta. Coming off turn 4 for the first time as Dylan Jones is going to lead the first lap, and we might have a challenge for the second spot on the speedway.
They do. We have a nice clean lap the first time around. That's always good to see.
A little further back, we do got some side-by-side action. I am seeing the 99 of Colton Selleck is the first side-by-side battle on the racetrack. Down in turn number 3, he's balanced side-by-side with the number 10 of Ken Richardson. Ken Richardson stuck on the higher line. He's going to get passed by the 99 of Selleck, now being challenged by the 56 of Josh Bonwell.
Yeah, they are single file all the way back to Selleck in 9th. Then they are side by side. Bonwell on the inside. On the top side is Ken Richardson. Richardson in the 10 car tucks down into the 11th position. Right behind that is the number 4 machine, William Lockhart. He's on the inside and now making a move up onto the 10. Here he comes on Richardson. 3 wide. Oh, that 10 machine of Richardson is in a tough position. He's got the 5 car of Elwood up on the top of him.
No grip just up there for the 5 of Alan Elwood. He's going to lose a couple of spots due to that 3 wide. The biggest paid-off right there is Willem Locklear on the bottom side of the racetrack in the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Still eating on that bottom side of the racetrack, and right behind him is the 50, or is that the 93, excuse me, of Andrew Payne.
Yeah, the best battle going on the track right now. You see him coming by the camera right now. That's Locklear on the inside. On the top side is Richardson. The 4 against the 10. Making a move, looking down, there's the 93 of Payne, nowhere to go. And then there's the 5 up on top. That belongs to Alan Elwood.
Biggest battle on the track between these drivers. Oh, the 4 car kind of drifted up the track. That would have been William Locklear drifting up the track just a little bit on the 5 of Alan Elwood. So far, oh, and Elwood almost made contact with the wall. Quite a few cars almost made contact with the wall coming off turn number 2. Close quarters for those guys on the outside row. That would have been the 01 as well. The 01 driven by William Roberts Jr.
You are not missing anything up front. They race single file. This is where the action is. We're going to ride on board with Leidenhoff, the car number 91 in 16th position.
Using up that higher line here in Atlanta. He might get the good run right here, but excuse me, the 91 machine of Leidenhoff is actually get that run there. The 01 on that higher line, that's William Roberts Jr., excuse me. That's going to be the preferred line. Right down the bottom, right on that white line is where the tires are going to grip the most. So that's where it's going to stick. And so far, it is paying off for Leidenhoff.
We'll stay on this one. This is one of the best battles on the track. I can just report that Gabriel Wood is now pulled up side by side with Kyle Kammer. But I think we'll ride here. My spidey senses are tingling that this is where the action is.
Hope those spidey senses aren't taking of a wreck, because these guys are asking for a 5-car wreck. But I'll tell you what, they are producing some great racing side by side with each other. Finally, that 5-car of Alan Elwood, remember he was on the outside about a couple of laps ago. He's finally found the inside row. That's where he kind of wants to be, side by side with Andrew Payne down in turn number 1.
I think once they get it sorted out, they'll all behave. But right now, it's Alan Elwood down on the bottom. The car doesn't seem to have the pace. The 93 is really loose. That's Andrew Payne. He has to check up. He loses 1 spot to Leidenhoff. He loses another spot to the 01 car of William Roberts.
Holy moly, that 93 car, Andrew Payne was really loose coming off the corner of turn number 3, or excuse me, turn number 2. He was right, left with the steering wheel. That's the way I play golf, but still managed to hang on to it in traffic.
Up front, I'll just do this verbally. Dylan Jones, David Washington, Andrew Perignars.
Car in the wall. Break the wall, no harm, no foul. Let me check out who that was back there.
Looks like the 46 machine of Richard Regan. He got bumped up by the 01 of William Roberts.
Got some right front damage right there, but still so far able to hang up with these boys in the mid-pack right here. So far he's clear all around, so hopefully he can regain his composure on the track as he comes across the start-finish line, entering turn number 1.
They're running the 46 machine, but then he didn't, and it cut off.
Oh, contact in the back of the field here, trying to figure out who all that was. That's some pretty heavy activity. Andrew Payne on back. He got a tap and a bumper and scraped the wall, just kissed it. Coming off turn number 2, he may have gotten that from William Roberts Jr., who was on the high side. Gets a nice run coming off turn number 4. Side by side, beats William to the line. Actually, at the William show right there. William Roberts in the 01.
We remain under green. With things settling down in the back now, maybe we can run up front, because now we have a challenge for the lead. We have David Washington has taken over the lead now. Dylan Jones falling back into 2nd position in the 19.
David Washington leads for the first time today down in turn number 1. Now 16 pole sitter Dylan Jones is being challenged by Andrew Perignars on the bottom side of the racetrack coming off turn number 2. Let's see if he can compete and still keep the momentum up coming off the 8-corner exit. Does not. Tucks back in line. Enter turn 3 again. Going to try this one more time. hits the apron. That's going to slow down his momentum. Andrew Farnars in the 88 hits the apron on entrance of turn number 3. That will lose a little momentum to the 16 of Dylan Jones.
These 3 cars plus one more of Daniel Eberhard starting to distance themselves from the pack. Eberhard is almost... Boy, he is really high.
He went really high. He went into the gray area. Not enough grip up there. Not enough, what do you want to call, tire marks up there. Not everybody's running up there. It's preferably the bottom side of the racetrack, which has been documented at the top of the show here tonight. And he's going to lose a spot to Daniel Eberhard.
So now Farnyard's dropping back to 4th. That is good news for the driver trying to catch up. Jason Jacoby in 5th. He was falling off the pace, but now he might be able to get into the toe of Farnyard's.
Kobe's all by himself on the speedway. No pressure from behind, and he's trying to gain on Farnyards. But this is a good spot for Jacoby to be in. Just kind of ride in line, let things settle. You're running on the top 5. Just run your race. We've got a long way to go.
Let's look at this battle for 10th position. This is Alan Elwood being challenged by Ken Richardson in the 10 machine. Watching the whole thing happen, Brett Ladenhoff.
Wasn't that long ago. These guys were in that big pack car mix back there for about 12th place on back, and now these guys are just running single file. Car really high above the racetrack. That would have been Brent Ladenhoff, like you just said there, Soup. Off the high side, off of turn number 2. These guys just trying to find their line. Oh, he may have hit the wall a little bit there, coming down the back straightaway.
Let's leave that. Let's go to 17th as we have a side-by-side battle between Richard Regan. He's on the outside. On the inside, Gary Sexton in the 13 car. This is a battle for 17th. Watching the whole thing from the popcorn position, Danny Rogers.
Gary Sexton has lost a couple of spots since the drop of the green flag. He is going to successfully pass Richard Regan Jr. Now clean air ahead for the moment. Started 15th, now up to 17th position. And we got another battle right behind Sexton between Richard Regan Jr. and Danny Rogers.
They continue to fight. Our hard charger has been Tyler Chalk. He started 30th, those 8 positions up into 22nd. Barnyards loses another spot now.
Ooh, baby, we talk about Atlanta being fast. That was close between Jacoby and Barnyards. Ever so close, ever so fast. They almost made contact there as Jacoby running that white line, sticking them left side tires right on that line. Make that thing stick. Coming off the corner of the exit, side by side to the line. Jacoby will beat him to the line here, as I believe Barnyards will lose this spot. Yes, he will, down in turn number 1.
Qualified outside of the front row in 2nd position has now fallen back to 5th. These are fixed setups, so everyone's racing the same machine, but if I didn't know better, I would say that that car is going away from Andrew right now. Maybe he's just raced it a little hard early on. Up in front, David Washington. He sat back. He qualified 3rd, sat back and watched Jones and Farnyards race for a while, then took the lead. 2nd position, Daniel Eberhard. Dylan Jones, our pole sitter, in 3rd. They are working lap number 19. Let's drop back there side by side in 12th position. A guy that we've been keeping an eye on, Brett Ladenhoff. My goodness, and the 91 car starts to drift up almost into the 01. Nope, they make it work. That's William Roberts.
Really making it work in the early stages of this race. A lot of different lines I am seeing since the drop of the green flag. The 01 of Roberts using a high line will successfully pass Brandon Ladenhoff off of turn number 4. Now gunning for another position on the 10 of Ken Richardson for the 11th spot.
Yeah, he is coming. William Roberts in the 01 machine. Oh, we're right on with Ladenhoff right now in 13th. See him look up as Roberts makes the pass. Richardson now in 12th. Look at the run that the 91 has, but he has to check up. Boy, this is some fun racing back here.
Really been fun racing back here since the drop of the green flag, Soup. I am seeing Ethan Moore trying to go past the 13 here back here. That Sexton. Sexton tried regaining some spots on the speedway, but he has fallen back. How about Tyler Chalk, though? Gained 10 spots since the drop of the green flag in the 07. and he doesn't have his buddy Wood anywhere. Obviously, can't really work together here at a track like this here in Atlanta. It's not a restrictor plate racetrack, but nonetheless, Chalk is headed up through the field.
Now, Daniel Rogers is ahead of Ethan Moore and Tyler Chalk. Both of those cars, the 23 and the 07, are on the move. Working lap number 22. 9 more to go. Pass for the lead. Here comes the 90 underneath. Daniel Eberhard makes a stab down there. Cannot make it stick, but boy, he drove it in deeper than boy, this took it hot.
Yeah, he most definitely did, but he's still in tracks of the 98 of David Washington, and would not surprise me on this lap if he'd really gunned for that race lead. Now there's a little separation between first and second. Looks like the third place of Dylan Jones, utilizing the higher lane of the racetrack, seeing how well that's going to work, see what kind of momentum he's going to get down that back straightaway. A little further behind is Jason Jacoby, but all eyes are on the top 3 cars, 1, 2, 3 of David Washington, Daniel Eberhard, and Dylan Jones.
Yeah, the top 3 are nicely playing out there. Washington, Eberhard, and Jones. They come across. Working lap number 24.
10 laps left till we see that caution flag. Now look at this. The Eberhard on the higher line now, kind of closing up that momentum of Dylan Jones. Probably he's seen some. Oh, we got a little. The race leader spins. It's Steve Washington and second going.
He spun it off the race and the car got loose. He saved it. He tried to save it as much as he could. Got it on the inside wall. No fast repairs here in this series. That car took a pretty good shot. Looking at it right now.
Yeah, I understand how a Washington guy got loose, but how in the heck did Dylan Jones get loose? He had to scrape the wall just a little bit.
It's coming up right now. Now the question is, I thought he did it all. Did he get a little help here? I don't think so.
I don't think Jones got help. I think he may have kissed the wall and it really upsetted his race car.
And right now we're looking at the 98.
And I do believe Jacoby in the background also kissed the wall, but actually still kept control of his race car. But nonetheless, it is Eberhard up front by 0.7 of a second and being gunned down by Jacoby, not too far behind. Then you got Andrew Farnyars in third. Dylan Jones still recapping in the 4th spot. Alan Elwood rounding out the top 5.
David Washington falls all the way back to 29th position, still on the lead lap, but not for long.
Now, folks at home are maybe possibly wondering, oh, how come that wasn't a caution? The guy spun out. Well, iRacing does not throw a caution if it's below the white line out of the racing surface. So iRacing will not call the caution flag. Now, if he went back up onto the racetrack, it would have been a whole different story.
Things settle down. Let's go back to 16th position. Danny Rogers being challenged by Ethan Moore. And our hard charger back there in 18th, that is Tyler Chalk. Chalk in the 07 starting to make that top side work. Look at that 07 on the top. Watch what kind of run he gets off of 4 as they start coming down the main straight. Whoa, the DeWalt machine, very squirrely.
Yeah, you're a little fishtailing off the corner of the exit, and that's okay. Some drivers in this series really like a loose race car. Now look at the momentum between the 23 of Ethan Moore and Chalk get on the bottom side of the racetrack. Look at Moore trying to come up on the 22 of Danny Rogers. Oh, we got a car spinning on the back straightaway.
Could be. Oh, it's Josh Bonwell. The car, boy, he was right behind Ken Richardson, and he just kind of drove it up into the wall.
Yeah, turn 2. It just seems like if you touch the wall on the back straightaway, it really upsets the car and really snaps loose the race car right around, especially on a straightaway. And that's exactly what he did. And he actually may have been all over the back bumper of the car of Ken Richardson.
But it was not on corner exit. Yeah, I think he just overcorrected. The car got loose, and he put in the 56, went into the outside wall again. Since the car stays straight, we dodge another Atlanta bullet. We stay under green. Working lap 29, be lap 30. We are working lap 30. A battle for third as the pits will close here next time around.
There's one driver in the field here, Soup, that's probably hoping for that stage caution to come out, and it will. And that's going to be David Washington way, way, way back in the 28th position. So he's going to get a stage caution here soon. But that battle for third heating up a little bit between Dylan Jones and Farnyard.
They come around. Eberhardt, our leader right now, up ahead by about a second over Jason Jacoby. The real battle is for third, the one we're watching. Farnyard and Dylan Jones. Both these drivers started on the front row. They currently are fighting for third.
Not too far behind, that's kind of catching those two cats up there, is Alan Elwood, coming from 13th starting position since the drop of the green flag, has now cracked the top 5.
Eberhardt coming across, working 32, seeing the white flag. We have one more. I guess we'll get, actually, one more white flag will come around next time around. There we go.
Battle for second still heating up there. Looks like the runoff corner exit's going to go to Farnyards unless, wow, look at that fishtailing by Dylan Jones, who is our pole sitter. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Sue, but he was on the pole last week in Daytona, correct?
Can't give you that one, but he certainly was there today.
Yeah, definitely, and he's trying to hunt down that 88 at Farnyards, hoping maybe he can pick up an extra point coming towards the end of the stage. This is the white flag lap of the stage.
That would be very important if he was the pole sitter. That would be his second pole, and he get $5 from the Sim Speed Shop. Right now, Daniel Eberhardt, though, working lap 33. Just have 2 more corners to go, and he'll win the stage. Coming out of 4, nobody really challenged him. If he's a regular member of this series, not only does he get the 10 bonus points for winning a stage, he'll get 1 playoff point as well. Jason Jacoby, Farnyards, Jones, Elwood round out your top 5. Gabriel Wood in the 00 machine comes home 6. Close battle for 7th between between Wilsey and Roberts.
No caution just yet. It could be a possibility of waiting for everybody to finish.
Gotta wait for everybody to get around the... Yeah, everybody's got to finish their lap before they'll throw the caution. Let everyone race for those positions.
Caution is out.
And they come out. And Daniel Eberhardt wins the stage. Take a quick look to see if anybody ducked in for a pit stop, and I don't see anybody, so I think it's going to be really busy on pit road here very soon.
Pit road's going to be a very busy place. I bet those pit crew guys are really trying to pump them air guns ready to go, put on that gear, and try to put 4 stickers on all 4 corners of the race car and fill that thing up with fuel, and out they go.
Pace car is out. We'll stay with you until the pit stops are done, then we'll take a short break here on GSRC. The pace car picks up our stage winner, Daniel Eberhardt. Dave Chalk trying to organize a little bit there. And now everybody coming down for their pit stops, led by Daniel Eberhardt.
Don't beat yourself on pit road. Pit road speed limit is 50 miles an hour here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Everybody's down pit road. It is a very busy place, and I do expect everybody to take 4 tires, unless somebody really wants to be brave and take 2, but I don't know how long they are going to last up towards the front. Here they go. Everybody's in their pit box, up and down pit road. A couple drivers overshot their pit box, and it looks like Dylan Jones, a pole sitter, totally undershot his pit box. Jason Jacoby's another driver that just overshot it. The 00 machine of Gabriel Wood takes 2 tires, and out away he goes. Oh boy, some strategy going on here, Soup.
2 tires, very, very interesting indeed. According to my information page that I've been given by the series organizers, Daniel Eberhardt is not a full-time driver in this series. So again, one more time, those stage points will not count. But Jason Jacoby and Andrew Farnyards are. They finished 2nd and 3rd. They'll get 9 points and 8 points respectively, but no playoff point. Okay, what we're going to do right now on the Global Sim Racing channel is take that short break that I told you about, but we'll be back before we go green. Don't go far. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Simulated Stock Car Association's AdPro 360 Cup Series, Round 2 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Not Road Atlanta, that's down the road a bit. It's the Bramante Landscape and Design 200. The first stage is in the book. Now we're working on the second stage. Let's give a tip of the hat to the race stewards who got that yellow flag really, really quick. They got everything taken care of, everybody lined up, and we're ready to go green. In charge, coming out of the pit, it is going to be Daniel Eberhard. Not a full-time driver, but he won the first stage, looking to do it again. Outside of him, Jason Jacoby, he is racing for points. Pace car peels. So does the thunder of the engines as Daniel Eberhard leads them down into the first corner. Jason Jacoby, Alan Elwood, William Roberts, and Colton Selleck.
Speaking Colton Selleck on the bottom side of the racetrack, that is going to be the official first side-by-side battle on the speedway. Battle pretty much for the 6th position on the track. Here comes the 01 ducking down. That's William Roberts Jr. underneath the 5 of Alan Elwood. Battle for position on the speedway. I believe that's battle for 3rd. Here comes the 01 in that red, white, and blue machine. Good to see that all on track. William Roberts Jr.
Let's go back to 22nd. Oh, we have a battle for the lead. Our directors found this one. Let's stay on the lead battle.
Jacoby on the bottom side of the racetrack, hugging that white line down there, making it stick. Gets by Eberhard coming off turn number 2. Here comes the 5 who wants to follow the same footsteps. That's Alan Elwood. Going to go side by side with Eberhard. Eberhard on the high side of the racetrack. Really not much grip there at the start of the race, but we've seen that transition as the race goes on. Jacoby's going to first lead his first time today. Side by side for 2nd.
Elwood still in the battle as they continue. The 5 machine of Elwood trying to stick to the low side. Look at the run that the 90 gets on top. Eberhard didn't race up there much the first stage, but now I think if he wants to maybe make that top side work. Watching the whole thing, Roberts in 4th, Payne and Selleck back there in 5th.
The crazy thing about Eberhard before that stage was done is that he was running the higher line right next to the wall in turns 1 and 2, but changed that up down in turns 3 and 4 as the race leader on the bottom side of the racetrack. Right now, he's still stuck on that higher line, nowhere to go. Now he's going to be able to get down towards the inside, running the same same tracks as Jacoby, who is your current race leader. The 5 car still remaining in 3rd and closely contended.
They race in single file now all the way back to 7th. Let's drop back to 8th position. Talk a little bit about Danny Rogers. Currently, he is our hard charger. Started 21st, racing in 8th, well within inside the points. And look at this. Remember Gary Sexton? He was well back there in the first stage. Wasn't really a factor. He's up to 9th.
Yeah, Sexton actually lost quite a few spots at the start of the race, but now he's cracked the top 10 after starting 15th, running a pretty good, solid race right now. Wants to possibly get another position off the 22 machine of Danny Rogers. We might have a battle in the top 5 area, though.
Out on the outside is the 5 machine. That is William Roberts in 4th position, fending off. Let me correct myself. That is Elwood in the 5 machine as he races for 3rd, fending off Roberts.
Elwood did a really good job on the higher line, fending off Roberts. Roberts is going to have to try to find another way to gain that momentum just back. But right now, the leaders are single file. The first about 7 cars are single file. We may have a battle for about 7th back there.
That's the drivers we've been watching. That is the car of Brett Ladenhoff. He's been exciting. He's trying to make it on the inside of Colton Selleck. Ladenhoff in the 91, right behind Selleck right now.
Ladenhoff's been pretty good. We had an onboard earlier in the race, and he was doing pretty good. Now he's in the top 10, currently in 7th, right behind Selleck. Followed closely by, is that Danny Rogers? No, that's not Danny Rogers. He's actually, nobody's behind him, but he's followed closely behind Colton Selleck. Andrew Payne in the top 5 as well.
See them coming at you. What a great Dougie Beer camera angle. Boy, you can really get the speed of the cars there as we look at Selleck and Ladenhoff battling for 6th position.
Kind of want to, yeah, they're battling for the 6th spot. So far, single file. But what happened to our pole sitter, Soup? Our pole sitter is nowhere to be found in the top 10 anymore. He's actually back there in the 14th spot, running all by himself at the moment.
Yes, indeed. And we're talking about Dylan Jones.
Yeah, Dylan Jones was actually a driver on pit road who actually undershot his pit box, tried to recorrect himself in his pit box to allow the pit crew to work on the car, which gave up a lot of time on pit road. That is the reason why he is in the middle of the pack right now.
And now, if you go back to 19th position, this is Jeff Martin. Remember, he's another big name for us. He's currently racing in 18th, trying to work his way around William Locklear.
Ooh, a little bit of a hornet's nest back here between a couple of drivers. Locklear, like you just said, Soup, Ellery Queen, Jeff Martin, Tyler Chalk, who Tyler Chalk was the biggest mover of the race. He does have front end damage, just a little bit.
Yep, he's going to have to do it again. He's falling back a bit. Up front, we got a battle for the lead.
Eberhardt and Jacoby once again going right at it. Eberhardt wants a challenge for that top spot once again here, and we know Eberhardt is pretty good on the longer run. So is Jason Jacoby. Jacoby's been solid in the top 5 all night long, along with Eberhardt. Alan Elwood wants a challenge as well. He wants to go for the second spot. I don't think he's got enough momentum down the front straightaway to get it. Not enough. Now we're down in turn number 1. Let's see what happens between the 5 and the 01, what kind of line they take. Down in the middle of the corners here, trying to gain that run. Eberhardt going to get the run off of turn number 2. Nothing producing just yet, but looks like Andrew Payne might be in a little bit of trouble. He actually had a slower entry down in turn number 3, and with that being said, this is going to allow Laidhoff to go side by not just yet. I thought he would go side by side coming off turn number 4.
Payne in 5th. Laidhoff back there in 6th, Selleck in 7th. Driver I'd like to get a little love to, having a good race in 12th position. We haven't talked much about him. Stefan Llewellyn being chased by Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones, the pole sitter. Jones should be able to get him in the number 16 machine.
Yeah, Dylan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Soup.
Well, then there's Gerard Campbell behind them, but I wanted to point out David Washington, if you remember, he was leading for a while. He had that incident where he banged it off the inside wall. He's really struggling back in 15th. It's going to be hard for him to get points today.
Going to be hard to get points for today, and that caution was certainly a miracle for that stage caution to come out. That allowed the crew to work on the car. It's still pretty beat up. But I tell you what, he's still running in the top 15, but go up front.
There we go. On the low side, that is Eberhardt. On the top side is Jacoby.
Eberhardt on the bottom side.
Boy, making that 90 stick down there. What about aero push, Tanner? Is that something that these guys, they look pretty good right now. It seems like they're able to race right behind the cars.
Looks like they were able to race behind the cars. Looks like handling is not too much of a plague. It looked like handling started to fit in just a little bit towards the end of that stage right there, as drivers looked like they were going to get a little tight. It was harder to pass as the run goes on, but looks like these guys are handling pretty good, especially the top 2 drivers of Jacoby and Eberhardt, because Eberhardt still wants that lead. He's just trying to find that momentum on trying to gain that run off corner exit. Look at this high line. This is the high line I was talking about Eberhardt was utilizing before the end of that first stage. That's how he was gaining his runs. And look at Jacoby fishtailing. See you later. Here comes Eberhardt on the bottom side of the racetrack. And this is the line Eberhardt was using down turns 3 towards that end of the first stage. Let's see if he can get the lead right here. He might beat Jacoby to the line. I believe he will. And he does.
The problem is Eberhardt likes the top side coming out of 2. Not sure how good the car is down there. Now this time, that top side is going to go to Jacoby, and watch the run that he gets out of 2. Not as good as what Eberhardt had. Boy, Eberhardt's good out of 2, whether it's on the low or the top side.
Yeah, Eberhardt's really good at tire conserving. I've started noticing that at the first stage when he took that race lead in the middle of that first stage. But I tell you what, it just seems like turn 2 is the hot spot of the car really want to snap around on you. And as far as being tight, it seems like it's coming on turn 4. So snappy loose coming on turn 2, a little tight coming on turn 4. So a little bit of a different combination. Here comes Jacoby doing a crossover on the bottom side of the racetrack. Eberhardt so good on the higher line as the run goes on. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he'll get the full momentum coming off turn number 2. Jacoby's going to hug right back in line on the back straightaway.
Ellery Queen making a pit stop. Not quite sure what that was for. If he has some type of strategy, he's going to fall several laps down, at least 1 lap down.
He's a lap down right now. He does have damage on the left front quarter panel of Ellery Queen.
Let's drop back to 10th position, see what's going on there. Oh my goodness, we got
Hornet's
a pinata
nest.
full of bees, yeah.
Yeah, pinata full of bees, exactly. A little 3-wide action. Look at Farnyar's cutting through the middle. Oh, these guys getting loosey-goosey coming off turn number 2. Hang on to her, boys. Let's slice and dice. Look at Farnyar's go on the bottom side. Farnyar's is on a roll, man. Coming off turn 3 wide, coming off turn 2, and going for more on Colton Selig.
Oh.
That's a battle for 7th. Oh, you got trouble?
A little bit of a hip check there from Farnyar's into the 99 of Selig, but that's okay. They keep going.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with a little door banging right there, trading some paint. But how about pole sale Dylan Jones cracking back the top 10 once again after a little bit of miscue on pit road, battling with the 22 of Danny Rogers.
Another driver we've been talking about in that mix, Sexton. He's been up, he's been down. Right now, racing in 11th, just outside of the stage points.
Sexton's has a top 10 car. It's, just, it's early in the race right now. Actually, we're getting toward the point where it'd be mid-race, but besides the point, he's still running in the top 10 right now, getting by that 93 of Andrew Payne.
Up front, no difference. In fact, Eberhard beginning. Let's go up front real quick and tell this story. Eberhard beginning to pull away from Jacoby. So they're coming up on a back marker now, working on Ryan Hill.
Jacoby's losing a little bit of momentum, might be about 6/7 of a second back right now. 7/10 of a second.
Yeah, I think he's going to be lucky if he can stay out of the clutches of Alan Elwood. Elwood is coming.
Coming up on a little bit of lap traffic. Shouldn't be affecting the leaders too much. That would be Ryan Hill in 24th position, going a lap down.
If you want to talk hard charger, let's go to 17th position. Oh, no, he's loose. Tyler Chalk, just as we're going to go to him, the car gets loose. We want to get this on replay. And honestly, it might be better. It might be better to look at it from the inboard of Ian Hayes. We'll stay with it here. We'll go to the replay in just a minute. That's Chalk on the low side, Hayes on the top side. We saw Chalk earlier, that car really, really loose, man. He was so loose. I thought that car was going.
Man, can I say something about Tyler Chalk? That car snapped loose coming off of turn number 2. He fought and really wheeled and dealed that whole entire back straightaway.
Look at that!
And still maintained
Ooh.
that. I don't care who you are. That's talent right there. Go on board a Chalker here. Yeah, coming off turn number 2. It's gonna. He does this to it the whole back straightaway.
That's some serious driving. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. Wow. He fights it, he fights it, he fights it, he fights it, he fights it. He's still fighting it. Finally gets it. Oh my gosh.
In other words, he just pulled the Kyle Busch of Atlanta / Daytona right there. I mean, he was on the apron and still maintained control of that race car. Great piece of driving by Tyler Chalk. Hands.
Before we did that, he was our hard charger. He's still our hard charger. He races in 13th, had a horrible qualifying experience.
I hope he gets a top 3 because I'd like to talk to him about that.
Working lap number 62 now, about a handful before they throw the next flag. Daniel Eberhard looking to make it 2 stages in a row. He's leading Jason Jacoby. We had a trick through the grass through.
Just,
Go ahead.
yeah, I think he was just mowing the lawn there.
We'll watch this one from Kyle's point of view.
Now, I don't suppose Kamer was going to try to attempt a pass in the grass there.
Yep. Might have got a little bit of help putting him down there. Did a nice job keeping the car going. Qualified in 9th. He's down 10 positions. Just can't seem to get the feel for Atlanta.
And speaking of Kamer, he's now going by Tyler Chalk off the high side. Chalk's losing it again. Sideways off of turn number 2. Actually coming to turn number 2. Still trying to maintain that DeWalt Toyota. Got a lot of damage on that 07 machine there.
Loses 2 more spots. 1 to Locklear, 1 to Moore. Everhart still out in front, putting Donald Stewart a lap down. Everhart comfortably in front, no real competition as he is working lap number 64 now, coming around to get lap number 65 started.
Check out these two cats in the top 5, or just now cracking the top 5 here, Sue. Barnyards, Jones.
Dylan Jones, he fell well down the order, been working his way back up. Whoop!
Getting loose. Hang on to it, boy. Woo.
Got it back under control. Just a little bit of a scrape there. Thought he was a Darlington.
Man, we're getting excited up here in the booth here, Soup. Just think how they got excited. I'm sideways.
Another battle right behind them. Can we go back to 7th? Laidhoff being challenged by Selleck. Selleck not able to get anything done.
Oh, Jones is going after Farnyards right now off turn number 2.
Meanwhile, our leader working lap number 66. Looking for a second stage win as he comes out of 4. Again, I do not believe he is a full-time driver, so I don't think he's going to get these points. But congratulations for the stage win anyway to Daniel Everhard.
Nice
Jason
job,
Jacoby
nice
gets a full-timer. He gets some points.
Kobe's racking up some points, and there's our second stage caution flag.
Alan Elwood, William Roberts, Dylan Jones, Andrew Farnyars, Brett Laidhoff, Colton Selleck, Daniel Rogers, and Gary Sexton all finish inside the top 10 to earn points.
It was a pretty neat battle between Jones and Farnyards. Jones actually got Farnyards at the line for that 5th spot.
Let's go ahead and talk about the point system right now before the drivers come in for their pit stops. We can bring up an overlay right now. And we talk about the points that they get. Of course, you get 43 points for winning the race, and you lose a point all the way down. If you were finishing 43rd, you get 1 point. Stage winner gets 10, and it goes 1 point from there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then, Tanner, there's also another graphic we can show you that talks about the playoff points and how you get to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Winning a stage does really help if you're a full-time driver. If you win a stage, that's 1 playoff point for the playoffs. So if you win a race, 15 regular season championship points, 15 regular season race wins, 5 points. So winning races and being up front really means a lot in any kind of race, as pit road is open and it is a busy place.
And of course, the top 12 drivers get in. If you win a race, you're in. If you're a full-time driver, that is. And then they'll fill out the rest of the roster by the number of regular season points. Everybody in their box. Now, this will not be the final stop. They will have to do one more. They cannot go the distance from here.
Pretty solid in their pit box this time around. It was a lesson learned, especially for the pollster of Dylan Jones. Everybody is out. Here they come. Eberhardt's going to be the winner off pit road. He's going to be second place. He's going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood and Jason Jacoby, the top 3 driver.
Dylan Jones, William Roberts, Andrew Farnyars, Colton Selleck. One of the drivers we've been watching a lot, Brett Laidhoff in 8th position. Daniel Rogers rounding out your top 10, Ken Richardson. With that, we'll take another short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but don't go far. We'll be back before they go green. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Simulated Stock Car Association AdPro 360 Cup Series. It's the Beaumonte Landscape and Design 200, round number 2 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've got the first stage in the books, we've got the second stage in the books, and now it's time for 66 laps. Not quite that many, as a few of them have been under yellow. To get to the end, there will be one pit stop before now and the checkered flag. It has been the star of the show out front, Daniel Eberhard out there in front. He's on the inside of row number 1. Flanking him is Alan Elwood, Jason Jacoby, and Dylan Jones. Tanner, we talked about Jones. He disappeared for a while. Now he's back up there in 4th.
Definitely did. I picked up this cue. He's fought back. He's back up there in the top 5, ready to hunt down for a race win. Wasn't able to rack up any kind of stage points, but he will be there towards the end. Let's see what happens coming off turn number 4. Coming to take the green flag in our final stage.
Pace car is in. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler. Hi-da-ho! And we have a spin in the back. Let's see. Will they check up? It's the 13 of Gary Sexton. I don't think we're going to get the yellow as he gets bumped. He got checked up by the 22 of Danny Rogers. And then that caused him, when he checked up, that caused him to get hit by the number 9 car of Stephen Llewellyn.
Yeah, a little bit of a bottleneck then. This is going to cost Gary Sexton. There's going to be no caution for this since he was spin out in the infield out of harm's way. And now he's going to be in the back of the pack hoping for some kind of caution to get caught right back up.
Boy, poor Sexton. He was having a great race, trying to put himself in position to get some points. Let's go up front right now and let's watch the number 5 car on the top side. That's Alan Elwood. He just got around the 16 of Jones, trying to make that top side work, but he's pinned, stuck behind the 90 of Eberhard.
Here comes Jones, our pole sitter, trying to fight for the top spot. Jacoby, not too far behind, wants to try to maybe squeeze in the middle, thinks better of it, taking it nice and easy down into the corner of the track. Now Mr. Lonely on the high side is going to be the 5 of Elwood, still utilizing that higher side of the racetrack.
I think Elwood likes it up there. I think the top side is definitely getting more competitive now. Might just because the track is getting hot, the bottom side maybe a little slipperier. Top side seems to be the place to go. We've
seen earlier, as the run went on, we've seen Eberhard utilizing a higher line, especially down in turns 1 and 2. Right now he's using the bottom side of the racetrack, and I just wonder if you're on fresher tires, you can utilize that bottom line much better, but as the tires wear off, you're going to try to change up your line just a little bit.
Again, with a run up top as Elwood nowhere to go as he gives a little bit of a tap to Jones. Jones in 19th. All this going on behind the man who's been dominating this race so far, Daniel Eberhard. 1, 2, 3, 4, side by side behind him on the top side. That's Farron. On the low side is Farron Yards in the 88. Roberts in the 6 on the in 6th in the 01 machine. They go side by side.
Jacoby's going to go underneath the 5 machine of Elwood, as Farnyards is battling for the top 5 spot on Roberts Jr. Farnyards is going to get that spot. Everybody's going to remain single file, tucks right in line, very close quarters right there. Some of the drivers, looks like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, utilizing the middle lane on entrance to the corner, dips it down towards the bottom side of the racetrack, coming off turn number 4 right next to the wall. I have a side-by-side for a second. No, not yet. But Jones wants to try for that top spot. He is going for that top spot, utilizing the high line. Battle for the race lead, Jones and Eberhard. Jones is trying to get that momentum off the high side. Looks like he's trying to carry it. Eberhard fighting on the bottom side down in turn number 3, trying to make them stickers really work, trying to stick it down on that white line. Still side by side, tremendous racing.
Drag race to the flag. Let's give it to Eberhard. Credit for leading lap number 77 as they work 78. But they say 2 by 2. Now watch the run from the top side now. Jones should get the momentum off of here, but he can't close the deal. Or can he?
Got to run.
Yeah.
Nice run on the high side coming off turn number 2. That has been the preferred line in turns 1 and 2. The bottom side has been the preferred line in 3 and 4. That's crazy to talk about here, Soup, at a track like Atlanta. Turns 1 and 2, you kind of run the higher line. In 3 and 4, you run the lower line. That's just, I guess, the way the tires are wearing off. That's just 2 distinctive lines that these drivers have been running tonight.
That's what makes us That's what makes a side-by-side battle so exciting, as one high line works one lane, low line works the other, and might have to do a little bit with where the sun shines on it.
A little bit. There is a lot of shade due to the billboard signs down turns 1 and 2, which provides the track a little bit of extra grip, which is the cooler part of the racetrack.
As that battle continues, let's drop back to 10th position. Look at this real quick. Eric Stafford, who sits well up in the points, racing for 10th position. Behind him, Ken Richardson, Kyle Kammer, Andrew Payne, and Ryan Hill.
Ryan Hill was the lucky dog position car last caution. He is now running in the 14th position.
Richardson gets that low line through 4. Cannot make it stick as well as we saw the guys up front do. Stafford able to fend him off, and now he loses momentum. Here comes the 8 of Kammer. The 10 car is Richardson. Boy, but look at that. You can see on that the top side out of 2. That's where they go. They're coming right at you.
Oh, man. Richardson really fishtailed it coming off turn number 2. That really bottlenecked the 8 of Kammer and Payne. Actually, excuse me, the 55 of Hill.
That let Hill get underneath. He's got a chance to have this position as they cross the line. He does. He comes across in front of Kammer. Those 5 cars continue to battle.
5 cars continue to battle side by side.
Let's go to the front. Here's a pass for the lead. Working on the low side. Eberhard gets it done. Jones almost surrenders it. I don't think that was a really... almost a dance between those.
Yeah, Eberhard really made that look easy on entrance to the corner, and now he's going to try to pull away here. We know Eberhard is really good on the longer runs of the race tonight, and we have yet to see a caution flag that happened of a incident on track.
Right.
The cautions we've had was just stages.
Been a couple incidents, but they've all been minor, and they've been off the racing line. It is 23 cars still on the lead lap, the last one being Gary Sexton. Right now, he's thinking about rivers in China, ribbons around old oak trees, anything yellow right now to help him.
I see debris in turn 3. How's that?
That'll work. I don't know. It'll work in real world. Love that camera shot as they come at you. Look at this battle now. We'll continue to look at Ryan Hill in 11th position. He started to peek underneath Eric Stanford.
And hats off to Ryan Hill after being a lucky dog car under this past caution, and now he's battling for a top 10 spot right now.
We talked about those 5 before. Another one joining the mix, the last one in that train. Mark Wilsey, haven't heard much from him, back in 15th position.
Yeah, Mark Wilsey actually was given an EOL penalty under this last caution because he drove through too many pit stalls on exit. So he had to start from tail end Charlie in the rear of the field, and now is currently in the 15th position, trying to go for 14th on the 93 of Andrew Payne.
Stay up front, looking at the battle for 10th, side by side.
Here goes Hill. Hill's going to try to crack the top 10 here after being a lucky dog.
And he gets it, and he goes up, and he closes the door on the 19. Stanford says no problem, there's still plenty of racing to go, plus a pit stop between now and the end of this race.
Question is, when do you want to try to make that pit stop? Do you want to try to be one of them early? Oh, here comes the 19, or did he just get loose? He just got loose.
Yeah, I can't imagine you could afford to gamble, though. You come in and then a yellow comes out, you could catch yourself out.
I got to look at the lap times here from the fastest lap time of the race, which is set by Dylan Jones, a 30.557. He is currently running a 32.284, so about almost 2 seconds. Almost.
They go around again.
Oh, trouble on the front straightaway. Eric Stanford is around. Caution flag is out.
That was Ken Richardson who got into Stanford. They got together. Stanford on the low side. I think Richardson's car got a little bit loose. And then he tried to save it and got into Stanford. Watch the 10.
Just looks like a little bit of a racing incident. Looked like the 19 was kind of come up the track just a little bit, trying to run his line. The 10 was coming down a little bit. They met in the middle. Contact made between the two drivers.
Yeah, I can see Stanford saying, I left you enough room. I think the 10 says, point, the car just got around on me. I had to save it. They get together, and there's our first yellow flag. With 44 to go, this is inside the window.
What was the fuel window again? It was like 48 to 55 laps?
I think they can go about 53. It's a matter of if they were going to do that with the tires wearing down. I was just about to check lap times to see how they were holding up.
Yeah,
go ahead. No.
Yeah, it was almost 2 seconds off their fastest lap times of the race. So about 2 seconds compared to fresh tires to old tires. But right now, all these guys can come down and get 4 fresh Goodyears on their machines.
This decision is an easy one. I think. My goodness, maybe.
Oh, a little bit of a gamble.
I don't understand. I like Alan Elwood. I like this. Okay, there are limited tires, so let's assume that they took a set on the first caution between the break. They took one on the second set after the second stage. This is their third set. I guess worst case scenario, that leaves them with one more. I gotta come in if I'm these guys.
That was too long of a green flag rung, in my opinion, because the fastest lap time was a 30.5, and they were running 32.2s. So it was just under 2 seconds off their fastest lap times of the race. That is a lot, especially if you're going to come down and grab 4 tires. That's just a lot of time you're just missing out, unless you're banking on a caution flag to come down pit road, because you are limited on tire set.
They got to be figured there's one more caution. They come in and get tires then. I can't imagine. They have 4 sets. I can't imagine that they're really an issue right now. We have
to say, and there should be an issue on tires, because this is technically our first caution under our wrecked condition. The other 2 cautions were just because of the stages. So technically 3 cautions only for 8 laps altogether in this race. I imagine each team pretty much has plenty sets of tires.
So the top 12 drivers do not come in. That goes all the way back to, it's the top 11 drivers. Let me correct myself. Goes back to Gary Sexton, because now we have a taker coming on. It looks like Gerald Campbell decided to come in here at the very end. He didn't like where he was. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I do got to point out one thing. This restart is going to be very important, and some viewers are probably asking why. Well, we did see an incident, and that's probably not just because there possibly won't be an incident, but with these top 12 drivers staying out approximately about 21, 22 laps on old tires, be careful on these restarts for a wheel spin, because you get on that throttle too hard, and those drivers with fresh tires can get on that throttle much better than you. It could mean disaster on the restart, so be careful for the wheel spin, boys.
And who are those drivers on fresh tires? Well, here's some names for you. Alan Elwood, Jason Jacoby, Ryan Hill, Kyle Kammer, Mark Wilsey, Ian Hayes. Watch out for them. They are fast, and they've got a new set of tires. Lights are still on. We'll go around one more time. Fuel should not be an issue for those guys who came in. Everybody else, the top 11, will have to make one more stop. Let me give you those names. Eberhard, Jones, Farnese, Laidhoff, Selleck, Rogers, Payne, Locklear, Moore, Hill, and Sexton.
And in a document, Gabriel Wood was the lucky dog driver under this caution flag, so he'll be at the tail end, Charlie at the rear of the field. But those drivers, those top 12 drivers you just named off, Stu, are going to have to pit at some way, shape, or form. They're banking on another caution.
Bad news for Gabriel.
Don't want to be the caution.
No, bad news for Gabriel Wood. He goes to the back. More bad news for Wood is that his partner, Chalk, which we enjoyed calling Wood and Chalk racing together, Tyler, out of the race now, 22 laps down. 23 cars still on the lead lap. And I believe only the cars on the lead lap are actually racing. Nope, Ellery Queen still out there 15 laps down. Just keep swimming. Gets the Dory Award.
going to be an interesting restart. I just wonder what the wheel spin's going to be like. This is something I just don't trust as a driver out there, but I just got to be careful here. Let me see back in there in that 12th position back there, see how bad wheel spin's going to be.
Car is in.
Oh, wheel spin, heavy. Car,
Yep.
There's a crash. There we go. That's, oh, big crash.
Daniel Rogers. The 22, the car just got loose. Came down and collected the 24.
Heavy wheel spin.
24 got into the one of Jason Jacoby. That's one of the cars on fresh rubber.
Practically everybody got involved in an on back.
Well, so the guys up front knew they didn't want to be part of that. We're going to go on board with Campbell. As we're looking at this, I can report that Jacoby comes in for a pit. Alan Elwood had to come in. There you see it.
Yeah, wow.
No acceleration for Campbell, just kind of coasted
Tiptoeing
through.
his way. That's very unfortunate. And those guys, they were banking on the caution. They just did not want to be the caution.
Well, now there are 10 drivers on that extended pit strategy. Goes back to Eric Idle. Top driver of all the guys who are on the fresh rubber is Kyle Kammer. Let's assume that he was clean through that incident. I'll give a quick replay to see if he got through okay. Looks like he was safely through.
And he's in 9th, ain't he?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so that would be pretty much 9th on forward was on old tires, and 10th on back is fresher tires.
Boy, it's hard to find anybody who got through other than Kammer. William Roberts made it through. Everybody else, now some of the cars that stayed out didn't pick up a ton of damage. A lot of people with, might be a bit of an extended yellow here because there's a lot of black flags that need to be cleared. You know what happens when there's those kind of incidents before they get to the start-finish line. iRacing gets very confused. And I think a lot of drivers picked up black flags for passing before the start-finish line. What we'll do right now, since I don't believe the lights are going to go off, this could be an extended one while all these yellow flags are cleared. Let's take another short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel while the race stewards take care of their housework. We'll be back before we go green. Alongside of me is Tanner Sharp. Yours truly is Bill Soups On. This is the Global Sim Racing channel, and you're watching our coverage of the Simulated Stock Car Association AdPro 360 Cup Series, the Beaumonte Landscape and Design 200, Round 2 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are currently under yellow. We are going to go green this time around. We are working the final stage. And let me tell you, we have an incident coming on here as we have some cars that have old rubber. Tanner called it. He thought wheel spin would be a problem. Tanner, you were right. The bad news is we got the same situation.
Yes, we do. We got about the first 9 cars on the speedway who are on very old tires, and we might see the same situation coming to this restart. So pretty much Kyle Kamer in 10th place. On back is on fresh rubber. How this is going to play out here. We might see some wheel spin again. I'm going to call wheel spin. Let's figure it out here. Coming off turn number 4, pace car is in. As you say, Soup, gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows. We might be spinning, but nope, we're going to keep it together.
It is much better this time.
Oh man, wreck. Oh no, the 4 car.
I don't think we're going to get a yellow. They're going to keep going straight, but my goodness, the 4 machine got pushed up into the wall, and of course the 4 car is William Locklear.
Yeah, he started 8th on that restart, and what a great job by Locklear to turn that steering wheel to the right into the wall, just try to hold it up there. You know you got old tire. He's still on the wall in turn 3. He's in trouble.
Okay, now some of the cars with fresh rubber, we're not sure how good they are because they've had damage. One of the
trouble with the 12! Ian Hayes on the apron side of the racetrack.
That was one of the cars with fresh rubber.
He made contact with somebody. Actually, he just got loose on entrance.
We stay under green. The car to watch, Jason Jacoby. He is in 6th spot. He
fresh
is going to be fast.
Too.
He is going to be quick. He gets right up on the back. My goodness, I thought he was going to turn Selleck. He makes short work of Selleck. He's coming. We do not think he has to pit. We think he is good to go to the end. Not the case for all the guys in front, and there are 4 of them.
Oh, man, I do not want to start playing that Jaws theme because here comes Jacoby. Oh, my goodness, who snapped loose coming off turn 2 like that? That was Dylan Jones, the pole sitter. He's still trying to fight the steering wheel. He's down in turn number 3. Here comes Jacoby, slicing and dicing up to the top spot. Going underneath Farnyards, 3 wide for the race lead. Or trying to, at least.
You can see Dylan try to turn that car left. He has such an advantage with new rubber. Now he finds a hole. The toothpaste goes back in the tube. They are 3 wide down the backstretch. But that
contact. Look at everybody cycling through on this back straightaway. Holy cats.
Jacoby out in front. Eberhard in 2nd on the top side. That's the 00 car making a move. No, correct. Yeah, it's a 00 car of Gabriel Wood. Oh, you know what? Jacoby was just all that cars he was going through did not put him in the lead. He's got to get down to William Roberts with a 1.3 second lead.
Oh, Farnyards loose off turn number 2, saves it. They were 3 wide there for a moment. Holy cow. These guys are all over each other, slipping and sliding through the air. Oh my gosh, 3 wide again. Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to my right. I'm stuck in the middle. Now I'm stuck on the high side. Man, this is back and forth in the top 10 ever since the drop of the restart. Hey, what? Eberhardt's in trouble. He's on a higher line. He's getting suppressed by everybody here.
Another car to watch. Can we go to 5th position? Car number 55. This is Ryan Hill. Ryan Hill on fresh rubber on the top side, working on Alan Elwood right now. More bumping in the back, I hear. I think it's okay. It might have been Ellery Queen put the car in the wall. That's not a problem. Up front, William Roberts with that gap now was 1.3 last time we mentioned it. It's down to under a second.
And Jacoby's really licking his chops for that race lead because he is coming.
Let's go to 3rd. This is Gabriel Wood is being chased down by Elwood.
Wasn't that long ago, Gabriel Wood was the lucky dog. He's now up there in 3rd. Here's Alan Elwood, who's been pretty much in the top 5 all night. Ryan Hill, actually another driver, Ryan Hill was a lucky dog early in the race. He's now in the top 5. Started 28th tonight. What a whale of a run for Ryan Hill.
Elwood gets 3rd. Ryan Hill should get 4th pretty soon as he is on that new rubber as well. The interval, William Roberts holding his own, back up to 1 second. Jacoby not able to run him down.
I'm trying to see the tire differential between the top 2 drivers. Jacoby does have fresher tires just only by 4 laps.
Now my timing and scoring stows William Roberts' stint as 105 miles, 105 laps, so clearly that's incorrect.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that means he has not changed tires the whole race, so that's one of the reasons why Roberts is not able to run.
Look at Elwood. Look at Jacoby, and Elwood just suppressed Jacoby like it was nothing down on turn 3, and now he's going to get 2nd place. And this is the battle that Roberts wants to see in his rearview mirror as a side-by-side battle, but clearly they're now single file.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's that much happy to see Elwood behind him, because Elwood, I think, is faster than Jacoby right now. Now he's coming. Gap between Roberts and Elwood, 1.4 seconds.
Trying to see what happened to the drivers that are on older tires. You got Eberhard, who was the leader on that last restart. He's backed up to 9th. Barnyards is backed up to 10th. Where did our pole sitter go? Dylan Jones. Trying to find out where Jones went. Jones is down 21st. 22nd. 1 lap down. Oh, car in a wall. That may have been Jacoby. I think he may have kissed the wall coming off turn 2.
Not seeing that.
He lost a lot of momentum coming off turn 2, though. I mean, Elwood just pulled away.
Maybe a lift going on. All this going on behind William Roberts. 1.2 seconds, losing no ground to Alan Elwood. Waiting to see who needs to come in to make their stops.
Kamer just got around Ryan Hill for 6th. How about David Washington, Soup? He was way in the back of the pack at one point. Actually, he was back in 28th and spun as a race leader.
Yep, and you can see the damage. You can look at Wash on his left front fender. That car bounced in. That's from banging it into the left side of the track. The 98 really scraped up on the driver's side.
Man, that one car is really struggling. That one car of Jacoby's really struggling out. He just lost about 2 spots right there in one corner.
Roberts in front. Elwood, once he got around Gabriel Wood, wasn't able to make up much ground on Roberts. Roberts minding the gap. Let's look back at 3rd. Here comes that damaged number 98 of David Washington. Working on Gabriel Wood,
who's also damaged.
Now my timing and scoring is not working anymore, but I believe Wood is going to have to make a stop. He's on those old tires. Yeah, 31 laps is what Gabriel Wood is on.
Well, if he's on that stint, he's doing really good trying to hold these cats off. Almost kissing the wall right there, but having a good 3rd place run with those stickers, man, that's saying something.
What you have to remember, a lot of these cars on those new rubber, they were involved in the little fender bender that on that last yellow flag on the restart that caught everybody. Almost everyone got some damage, so it's hard to say how fast their cars really are.
Well, we know how fast Washington is after they spin and hit the inside wall there early in the race.
Stay on that battle for 3rd as he continues to look for him. Another guy coming into the mix, the 8 machine of Kyle Kammer.
Good to see Kammer up there in the top 5. Hasn't really seen him in the top 5 all night long. We've seen him in some couple dicey moments. Now running 5th. And now Kammer looking at a side-by-side battle ahead for 4th. Or 3rd, excuse me. I mean, Washington and Wood. Wood's doing a really good job coming off turn number 2, utilizing those old tires, being very strong off that higher side of the racetrack, holding off Washington. And actually, Washington has had an eventful day alongside Kamer and Wood. Jacoby is about to lose another spot on the speedway to Ryan Hill.
This is back in 6th position. Jacoby in the 1 machine.
Jacoby able to hang on to it.
Racing in the YouTube Jacoby car. So go ahead, check out that channel.
Eberhardt pits.
Yeah, this was the strategy we had to question. I'm not even sure he can come in and get out and stay on the lead lap. We'll see. I think he's got to go at least a lap down.
He's going to go at least a lap down, and I don't see any signs of this race going to have another caution flag as of right now, unless someone really loses it, unless we see an accident. But we really have not seen that all day there, Soup. So Eberhardt's going to go a lap down for sure.
William Roberts still out in front by 1.3 seconds.
Oh, the double zero! Wood! Yeah, Wood just almost lost it on the back straightaway.
Put it in the wall right in front of Washington and Kamer.
Oh, man. Right, left, right, left.
He does save it. He keeps it going straight, loses position, and a little bit of time. Here it is. My gosh, another good save. So he falls down to 5th. Let's drop back 1 position director, back to 6th. This is Jason Jacoby, being hunted by Ryan Hill.
Hill's done a really good job. And idle pits.
Eberhardt is in and out. Laidhoff is in and out. Gary Sexton is in and out. All these guys, you know their names. They all stayed out on that last caution. Ethan Moore in and out. They're all a lap down.
There is a driver who we have not really mentioned in the top 10 right now, but he was one of the causes of the incident of that spin tire ordeal, and that's Danny Rogers, sitting in 8th.
Just so you know, Eberhardt back in 17th position after that questionable pit strategy. This is assuming that everybody can go the distance here. We're pretty sure that they can. William Roberts out in front by 1.5 seconds over Alan Elwood, Washington, and Kamer.
Looks like Wood is going to... Oh, that's a lap ahead, excuse me.
But I don't think it's going to be... When we look at 5th position, as there we're looking at our leader. I don't think it's going to be long till Wood falls back into the clutches of Jacoby and Hill. Another
Andrew
one of those
Payne.
top drivers. Andrew Payne.
Pit road.
Interesting enough, Dylan Jones is actually out in front, I believe, of Eberhard.
Yeah, and if Eberhardt hunts down Jones before the end of this thing, that will be a battle for the lucky dog on the speedway.
And we're assuming this is a pointless thing going on back here, although the lucky dog is nothing to snicker
Right.
at. These guys could certainly, with fresh tires, if they were to yellow come out, they get the wave around, they'd be a factor. But we assume that everybody else in front of them can go the distance. Well, most everybody. Here comes Eberhard. He's going to get that easily on Dylan Jones. Jones is on about 8 lap older tires. Eberhard is flying. He's going to try to run it down, do it the old-fashioned way. He'll get his lap back. He's going to get his lap back without the lucky dog as he works around Gabriel Wood.
He is flying around this track. I mean, that's just the difference between fresh and old tires.
The problem is he only has 10 laps to get it done.
Well, you're going to have to hope for a caution to be able to get the lucky dog and be able to try to challenge for a top 10 spot here tonight. I don't think a win's going to be in the cards tonight, but very unfortunate after a dominating performance by Eberhard.
Well, normally I would say he needs a caution, and he needs it in the next 5 laps. Otherwise, this race will finish under yellow. But remember, we're all scared of it. There is a green-white checker possibility.
We're going to be seeing those green-white checkers at some point this season.
Nope, these boys know the GSRC is scared about covering it, and they're going to be good.
We haven't covered it just yet, but we will at some point.
The battle up front, it's 1.3 seconds. Boy, look at fresh tires. You want to take a look at 21st position. This is Ethan Moore going around. Here comes Chuck Idle. Those guys are... I don't believe they're unlapping themselves. I think they're more than 1 lap down. Yes, they're several laps down. They're getting one of their laps back.
Yeah, I'm only counting 11 cars currently on the lead lap.
Going to check a second to check my chart and see if William Roberts is signed up as a full-time driver. Well, I'll be darned, he is. So he's looking to get some championship points and some playoff points if he can bring it home.
Looking all fine and mighty up towards the front there.
1.2 seconds over Alan Elwood. Let's go to Elwood right now because high, wide, and handsome is Daniel Eberhard as he goes by. Daniel, just one more car to get back on the lead lap. And then you'll have 6 laps to get around. David Washington has worked his way up to 3rd, Kyle Kammer in 4th. 11 cars on the lead lap, the last one being Jared Campbell. A lot of the drivers that we have been following that were very competitive. Brett Laidhoff, Gary Sexton, Mark Wilsey, Andrew Ferrignars, all 1 lap down, caught out on pit strategy.
Got a battle for 6th place going on in these closing stages of the race. You got Hale going underneath Jacoby, at least trying for it. The closest battle I've been seeing as far as drivers who are on the lead lap.
Oh, heard a little bit of contact there somewhere. I guess we're okay. Everything good?
Eberhard got the lap back indeed.
5 to go.
Man, I tell you what, Eberhard or Jacoby kind of roughed uphill just a little bit, just hitting that back bumper. Got the hill just a little sideways on the back straightaway. Some great racing between these two drivers for the 6th spot.
4 to go now. If a caution comes out, we're looking at a green-white checker. It'll only be between the top 10 drivers will be allowed to race. David Washington in 3rd, Kammer in 4th. This is a good battle for 3rd. Let's watch this one. Here comes the 8 of Kammer. Not going to get there this time.
Not just yet. It's got a couple more laps to get her done, though. We're going to be 3 laps to go right now to try to catch Washington for 3rd.
Wood seems to be hanging in there in 5th position. Hill in 6th, Jacoby in 7th. Danny Rogers is in 8th. He's all by himself as he gets passed by a car on fresh rubber of Andrew Payne.
2 more laps to go.
Look at 9th, Ian Hayes. He's been very quiet, going to get some big points.
Points indeed after starting 26th on the day. Not seeing too much of a scratch on that 12 machine. Maybe a couple donuts here and there, but you're going to get a solid top 10 today.
And now we focus on the leader.
White flag this time by for William Roberts Jr. coming across the stripes. He's got 1 more, 1.5 miles to go, down in turn number 1, into the 24 degrees of banking. down the back straightaway for the final time with about a 1.5-second race lead over Alan Elwood.
Coming up behind Gerald Campbell, the lap car. Campbell gets out of the way. Round number 2. The Bromonte Landscape and Design 200 goes to William Roberts Jr. Alan Elwood is going to get second. David Washington, Kyle Kammer, third and fourth in a close battle.
Hey, great comeback by David Washington.
Hill gets fixed. Jacoby gets the best of Gabriel Wood as he snatches that position. I think that's lap 5. Daniel Roberts, Ian Hayes, Eric Stanford, Daniel Everhard finishes on the lead lap, spinning the car across the line in 11th, the last car on the lead lap. The racing is done here in Atlanta, but our broadcast is far from over. Right now on the Global Sim Racing channel, we'll take a short break, but we'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. If you've been watching the whole race, you know who we are. You know what we're covering. If you're just getting here, well, shame on you. Where you been? This is Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Simulated Stock Car Association's AdPro 360 Cup Series. It's the Bramante Landscape and Design 200 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Round 2 of the regular season is in the books. Let's tell you the finishing order right now. He is a regular season racer. He gets full points for this. He gets the win. No stage points, but nevertheless, big points for him. And of course, I'm talking about William Roberts Jr. Alan Elwood comes home in second. David Washington, Kyle Kammer, and Ryan Hill round out your top 5. The back half of the top 10, Jason Jacoby, Gabriel Wood, Danny Rogers, Ian Hayes, Eric Stanford, and then we get to 11th for Tanner.
Yeah, outside that top 10, Mr. Dominating Performance of the Day, Daniel Eberhardt, will finish 11th after winning the first 2 stages. Gerald Campbell's going to finish 12th, the first car 1 lap down, and on back, every car there's a lap down or more. That would be Brad Laidhoff in 13th, Dylan Jones, the pole sitter, in 14th, Andrew Farnyards in 15th position tonight, Colton Selleck in 16th, Gary Sexton will finish in 17th, Andrew Payne in 18th, Mark Wisley in 19th, and rounding up that top 20 is William Watson.
The last car 1 lap down in the blackjack spot is Ethan Moore. Then we get to cars that were several laps down. Chuck Idle, Stefan Llewellyn, Ken Richardson in 24th, 44 laps down. Ellery Queen, he was in the points on the chart there after round 1. Not going to get a lot of points here today as he finishes in 25th, 44 laps down. Rounding out the rest of the group, we have Donald Stewart. Tyler Chaka was a hard charger for a while. He's going to finish 64 back, not able to finish the race. Round 1 winner, Jeff Martin, 77 laps down as he has trouble in 28th. Josh Bonwell and Richard Reagan Jr. close out your 30-car field. Okay, let's go to interviews, and I think we're going to let Tanner go ahead and talk to our race winner, William Roberts Jr.
I'm down victory lane with William Roberts Jr. And William, congratulations on the win first off. And I tell you what, there's probably at some points early in the race you weren't expecting probably a win after the dominating performance of Daniel Eberhardt. But talking about those closing stages of tonight's event, you really kind of walked away with it. Tell me about those closing events tonight.
Well, when we came to the right around, it was lap 37 to go, right around in there. We had a caution before the restart where everybody decided to wreck. And I ended up pitting, but I was towards the end because in the very beginning I forgot to take tires. So I went ahead and took some tires, put a little bit of extra fuel in it, try to keep the rear end down. And missed the wreck on the restart. And after that, we just kind of, we found a lane. We were behind people with old tires, and with old tires like they had, it just wasn't going to work.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've seen a heavy wheel spin on that restart. But talk about those long green flag runs, though. There was a point where the only cautions you've seen was the stage cautions, and it seems like the handling of the car changed dramatically as soon as you reach towards an end of a stage. Turn 2 seems like it was the hot spot of the night. What was your thoughts about the handling of the race car tonight? Because it seemed like you guys were really loose off turn 2 and tight off turn 4. Any comments on the car tonight?
Actually, it was kind of the opposite for me. I like to run a high line around 1 and 2, and I wasn't able to do that much at all tonight because of the fact that it was running too tight. So I had to actually run low to get the rear end to turn. And you always get a little loose coming off of 4 because you're just coming onto the transition of the dog leg, and if you hit it right, it'll shoot you, and you can hold it. It'll be fine. And if you hit it wrong, you gotta lift on the throttle. So it just depends. Tires are a big thing. So yeah, when it comes to the long runs, I actually like the long runs because it takes a lot more car control.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like there was a lot of car control tonight by not just you, but other drivers here this evening. But I tell you what, you took your gamble of your strategy of pit road tonight, and it got you a win here at Atlanta. Now, how do you feel about getting lucky down in Vegas in 2 weeks' time for round 3 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for a chance of victory number 2? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, we'll see what happens. I actually like Vegas. Vegas is a lot of fun to run. So we'll see what happens. I'm glad that we already got one in the bank. That way we're already in the chase, especially after last week, because we turned around and we wrecked last week, had a DNF on lap 23, and then this week we turn around and end up winning. So awesome turnaround, and hopefully we can keep the momentum going.
A happy feeling to get out of Daytona and then come to Atlanta to get a notch off a win to secure yourself in the playoffs. Well, Mr. Roberts Jr., congratulations on the victory here tonight. Thank you for coming and talk with us. Any final comments before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you guys for the broadcasting. You guys seem to do an awesome job. And I'd like to thank my fiance for helping me get this stuff that I have to be able to sit here on iRacing. Want to thank Toxic Media Solutions. They threw on the paint. Want to thank Down East Chassis Works. And Gary Sexton for putting on the lead. That'd be it. Well,
William,
and our soldiers.
What's your fiance's name?
Elizabeth Ontiveros.
Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth, thanks for letting Bill race with us. Good luck. Congratulations on making the playoffs. Okay, that was William Roberts. Now we get a chance to talk to the driver who came home in second. That's Alan Elwoods. He was racing for Elwoods Motorsports and the Elwood Design Performance Powder Coating Machine. Alan, congratulations, second place.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, talk to us a little bit. You had to be pinching yourself when you saw the 12 cars in front of you not coming in for a stop. Tanner and I couldn't figure out the strategy of why they would stay out. Could you?
That one kind of shocked me a little bit when those guys stayed out because I'm thinking we still had 2 sets of tires left if my math was right. So I'm like, okay, that kind of puts us in the catbird seat. And then when they stayed out again in that next caution, I felt pretty good about our chances. And then all of us started battling there that last green run. So that kind of shot my chances of getting to the lead. But I mean, I'll still take second after the night.
Now, were you ahead of the restart yellow when we had all those cars on old tires ahead? You weren't involved in that one.
I actually was involved. I was about 4 rows behind when it started happening. I almost got through it, got clipped in the right rear, hit my nose on the outside wall just a little bit, had like 20 seconds of repair, got all that fixed. And I think that helped a little bit, though. I mean, that could have been the difference right there, too.
You have anything for Roberts there, or he was just minding the gap? Because when we saw you coming, I thought you were going to make a run. You were really getting through second. To get up to second, you were flying.
The problem was that as soon as I kind of got to that point, got by Chigobi, the tires pretty much equaled out. And I was telling my buddy who was spotting for me that I got nothing left. I tried running different lines. I actually lost a little bit running up higher, and it seemed like that's the way it was all night. So just nothing really left there at the end.
Well, you are a regular series driver in here, so you picked up some championship points. Didn't get the win, so you're going to have to earn your way into the playoffs, but the season's long. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alan Elwood, as he comes home in second. Tanner, who are you talking to?
See if I can hook up with David Washington here after a third place runner-up. He had an eventful day. David, do you have a copy? Not in here just yet. But I'm going to see if we can hook up with David Washington here because he had an eventful day today. Yeah, but it looks like he's not ready for an interview, though. That's unfortunate. I really would like to talk to him, though. Let's do Kamer.
Here we go. Bring down Kyle Kamer, fourth place finisher. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, talking with Kyle Kamer after we couldn't talk with David. But Kyle, tell you what, you were another driver that had an eventful day up and down the leaderboard. You fell back at the start of the race, and it seemed like you were, like I said, up and down the leaderboard. And then you kind of got caught up in that instant when them guys stayed out. Were you one of those drivers that were shocked them drivers stayed out?
Nobody wants to talk to you today, Tanner. Some aren't here. The ones that are here aren't going to talk to you. So we're going to it's a long. We'll have a long chance. Many chances to talk to Kyle. We'll bring. Here we got him. Let's bring him back. Here we go. All right, now we can talk to Kyle. Kyle, I'll just repeat the question for Tanner real quick. Were you surprised to see those drivers stay out there, the 12 ahead of you?
I wasn't sure what anyone was going to do there, and I felt like, being in the position that I was in, I just had to do the opposite of whatever the leaders did, and majority of the leaders stayed out. So I came in and kind of made my bed and said, this is my last set of tires. If we stay green, I should be in good shape. If we get a caution somewhere in the middle, I'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And you come out with a top 5 finish here tonight at Atlanta. And I'll talk about them pit stops. When you go into them pit boxes after them old tires, because we didn't see a lot of wrecks today out for caution flags, just the stage cautions. when you're coming down pit road, when you come down pit road, is it like the ARCA brakes that people always talk about? You slide through your pit box? Because we've seen a number of those under that first caution or that first day.
You just got to remember to dial the brake bias forward as you're coming in and then back when you're coming out. And as long as you can remember to do that, you should be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like you come away with Atlanta with a perfectly good, clean car on that number 8 machine. Now, in 2 weeks' time, you're going to be stepping foot in Atlanta. How about continuing a top 5 streak or maybe a win, or not in Atlanta, in Vegas in 2 weeks' time?
Well, Vegas is one of those tracks where everybody's fast. You know, you got your foot to the floor almost all the way around. And so that's going to be an interesting race. I think there's going to be a lot of side-by-side action, a lot of changes for leads, and looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Kyle, we would like to thank you for coming and taking time with us to talk with us here tonight, and good luck in Vegas in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And I think that'll do it here for everybody on the Global Sim Racing channel. Boy, what a great show these guys put on for us. We encourage all the drivers to come in and talk to us. Even if you're not on the podium, we'd like to get to meet all of you throughout the season. With that said, let's give a few thanks to everybody that made this race possible. First of all, we have to thank everybody at, if I can get to the people we have to thank, how about we start with the people at AdPro 360. You know, they are the title sponsor. AdPro 360, they're an advertising agency specializing in digital and social media marketing. For more information, go to, now pay attention, adproresults with an S.com, adproresults.com. To Bramante Landscape and Design. Bramante Landscape and Design for the idyllic outdoor living spaces with terrace gardens, tranquil waterfalls, or magical children's play areas, to gated stone entranceways with magical pool, with majestic pool houses. Bramante Landscape and Design and Management Group delivers dreamlike accents, amenities, and landscape design to Long Island's most prestigious homes and estates, with meticulous attention to detail and premium quality craftsmanship. The Bramante team transfers properties into breathtaking home landscapes as unique as the families that live there. Call them at 516-671-4499, or better yet, visit Bramante.com. Simulated Stock Car Association. Hey, all the guys there for organizing the AdPro 360 Cup and for contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. On the screen right now are just some of the company's equipment and software that make this broadcast possible. The iconic music that lets your ears alert your eyes you're watching a GSRC broadcast comes courtesy of Eric Eckhom and Casey Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them. Tanner?
The SSCA Cup Series returns in 2 weeks, March 15th, for Round 3 from the town built on sand and broken dreams, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action, and we hope you join us too. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like to know more about GSRC, including a complete list of our future broadcasts, you can find it all at www.globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSRC Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel.
Finally, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, Cannon Sharp, one of the best commentators in sim race broadcasting who today was stuck in the production van, that is our director, Joe Peak. Our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.